So today we are here with Keely Parsons, who runs Sassy Wax. If you don't already know about Sassy, it is one of the best wax melt places that you can buy from, and I've been using it for almost a year now. So, two from me, one of the best ones. Keely, do you want to kind of introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit more about Sassy?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. So, like I said, I'm Keely. I am the founder of Sassy Shop Wax. I'm soon to be mum of two and love everything to do with business and marketing, basically. So, Sassy, as you said, one of the best. Thank you. Is definitely the fastest growing wax melt company in the UK, which I'm really proud of. This time last year, I think we had 3 members of staff, including me. And now we've just hit the 20 members of staff mark, which is incredible. And we have such a great team. So yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the first questions I was going to ask was about kind of like, how did you think of, getting into wax melts? Because I know there's been like Yankee Candle was like such like a hard hitter. That was the first kind of search one for so long. But then, you get all of these like trendy scents coming out that kind of just like knocked it out of the park. So, yeah.
Yeah, so when I moved out when I was quite young. I was 17, 18. I was obsessed with a very popular high street candle brand and obsessed with a very popular high street bath bomb brand. And I was picking up like my weekly bath bombs. Who knows what my bath bomb bill was like back in those days. And I just thought to myself, like, surely there's a candle that smells like this bath bomb. It was like the lavender and tonka one. I was obsessed. And I was like, I just need my whole flat to smell like this. And I went home and I did some research and discovered wax melts. There was a few companies at the time, very small, independent kind of wax makers, I guess, making from their kitchen, selling on websites like Etsy, that was able to create these kind of fragrances. And immediately I was just like, I need to create my own. So I've always been a creative person and I've always liked the idea of having my own business. So for me, it was like the perfect thing to start with. At the time, I was actually trying to create like my own natural cosmetics range, and that kind of fell flat due to how much research you need to do, the setup costs of having them all like cosmetically assessed and stuff. So when I found wax melts and I saw that was, the regulations were easier to understand and to set up your own business when you're only like 17, 18, it just felt like the better option for me. So yeah, I started in my kitchen just making small batches, and for like a year or something, didn't really get anywhere at all. But I loved what I was doing and I enjoyed what I was doing. I made plenty of mistakes along the way and worked really hard at it. And luckily, yeah, it paid off in the end. So
well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So how long has it been going then?
So I set up the company as a limited company in March 2019. Mm-hmm. So that's when I took on like my first member of staff, convinced my mum to come and help me, and later on my dad and my partner, who was a builder, and now he's the operations director, which is funny. He actually said the other day, yeah, a year ago, I really didn't think I'd be doing this. But what a journey it's been. So yeah, we set up the company last year, but I actually took maternity leave 10 weeks before I was due with Luca in 2018. So for that year, I was working self-employed, growing the business. Took a jump knowing that I was making a little bit of money and that I could fall back on having my bills paid buy my maternity pay and really go for it and make the most of the 10 weeks before Luca came along. which was it wasn't tough because I really enjoyed it and I could see what I was doing and I could see that it was working. But for everyone else around me, it was like, surely you should just be like in the bath all day or, you know, just binge watching Netflix. What are you doing?
Show like the difference between like having a job and working for someone and then just doing something that you're passionate about and you love. Like, what a stark difference.
It is a dream, and I literally recommend it to anyone that I can see that not necessarily unhappy, but they have so much qualities in themselves, and maybe there's just like these little things that are holding them back. Maybe they don't like taking risks or the fear of financial, you know, commitments and stuff. I'm like, just do it. You're so talented. Like, you can, with your talents, you can find another job tomorrow. You know, there's always going to be jobs out there, but unless you really try and make it on your own, you can't see the rewards and everything. And it's life-changing, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
It's so
good. So your business model's quite different to a lot of companies where they'll have like just their product range and that's it, that you focus more on restocks, which I'm going to hold my hands up and say I do participate in quite a lot. It's a bit of a problem, and I know that I've put a lot of my stories about the amount of wax melts that are in my house because it is traumatic, but they are amazing, and like obviously that's worked out so well for you. So
there's pros and cons. There's definitely pros and cons. So yeah, the restock model. So I call it the restock model, but I fell into it. So when I was making on my own and I was on maternity leave, I was obviously really limited on what I could produce and how much I could sell. So I would make the stock all month. So a good, you know, few hours a day, whether I can fit in 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. If someone was looking after Luca, maybe I could do 8, and then put the stock on the website on one day of the month, and it would sell out in 15 minutes, which is great, but I didn't really intend to never have any stock, you know. So we have kept the model, but I will be honest with you, every time we have a meeting, we sit down and we're like, right, so what can we do to make more stock, which means that we don't sell out so quick? Because as you know, because you buy Sassy Wax, we restock on a Tuesday and a Friday, and come a Monday and a Thursday, there's never any stock on the website. So we still can't make enough stock to keep things on the website. So we did try and get around that a little bit by adding the best-selling permanent range, which is 6 to 8 of our best-selling scents. And we did that as soon as we moved from my dining room table into the little warehouse that we had last year. And that really works. So those scents, our most popular ones, are always in stock. And we do our starter pack, which I give you a discount at the end for your listeners, and all of those scents. But because we have a library of over 400 scents, I think we'll always struggle to keep all of them in stock. So for right now, the restock model definitely works. It's great to have something that generates excitement and brings people together. But it is my intention for people to go on the website and actually have stock to buy when they want to buy in the near future. So,
I mean, I think the thing for me is that I don't get to go to America a lot, and there's a lot of scents that you do that are extremely similar to another brand in America that you can't get it over here. So I'm always like, I need to get this scent, because otherwise I'm not going to get it. So the restock, like, it works for me. It works for the season, but. Yeah, I think it does tie into your Facebook group as well, that people are so excited for the restock, and they're all talking about it. They're talking about what they're going to get. They're talking about what they're going to, you know, as soon as they order, even they post their order. So, you know, they're so excited just to even see the scents. It's crazy.
Yeah, it Yeah, honestly, when I tell people about it, they're like, who even buys wax melts? I'm like, you'd be surprised. It really has, and then we never knew it was gonna blow up like this. But it seems to be people actually collect it now, which is amazing.
I think wax melts, because like I've only just got into the world of wax melts, and almost accidentally someone like just gave me a couple of samples, and they were really nice. But the thing that I find different from candles and wax melts is like wax melts, it's almost like the smell sticks, if that makes sense. Like as soon as you blow the candle out, the scent's gone, but as soon as you blow that wax melt out, the smell is still there.
Yeah, definitely. Wax melts, you'd be surprised, like maybe 30% of the people that I speak to, if we were just out selling at a fair, not at the moment with the current circumstances, but last year out selling at the fair, they have never even heard of a wax melt, and you have to explain to them what it is. But there's so many reasons of why wax melts are booming in popularity now compared to candles. I mean, really, when you look at it, you can spend £25. Some candles even sell for like £250 on 1 scent. But really, if you're buying it to fragrance your home, if you're making it to be comforting, create that kind of vibe. I use it myself for like rituals, so before a meeting or when I'm getting in the bath, and use it to unwind and things like that. Why would you want to spend £25 on 1 candle when you can have like a pack of 10? That's the way I look at it anyway. So that is what I tend to tell people when they ask me, why would you buy a candle ever again?
I'm definitely on that train, by the way. My issue is like I need to find enough wax burners to put in like every room. That's my next thing.
Yeah, you'd be surprised if you go on the group. There's some of our customers that have like north of like 50 burners, I think, and they have them all dotted around, and they like swap them out in rotation. They've got Halloween burners, they've got Christmas burners, they've got a whole collection.
Oh, there's a whole world of like wax melters. That's so funny. But it's good that you've capitalized that community as well. Like, you've almost given them a community to like be a part of, right?
Yeah, and again, that is something that I accidentally stumbled into, and people ask me all the time, well, how did that happen? Like, why do people want to come to the chat group? Why are people so engaged with it? And honestly, I couldn't tell you. All I've done is be authentic and show that I care about my customers. And I think if you're able to talk to your customers and find out what they want and let them know that they're appreciated, you're always going to have a good business, and people should be doing more of it. So I always say, if you tell someone that they're appreciated and you ask them what they want next and you give it back to them, they're always going to play into your success, wanting to see you do better, knowing that you care, because it feels like they contribute to it. And it's really magical when you think about it, because it's brought so many people together. I'd personally be lost without it. It's like my support group. It's not for everyone, don't get me wrong, especially if you're not into wax melts and that kind of thing. But if you are, then it's a lovely place to be, for sure.
I mean, I am in the group, and you see so many like reviews and people literally just talking about their favourite scents, and it is so authentic that customers are literally just like creating all of this user-generated content.
Yes.
And you can just, go through it, and someone could have a snapshot of your business within like 30 seconds of scrolling through it.
Yeah, exactly that.
What's the page called?
Sassy Shop Wax Chat.
Okay.
So we've just hit the 12,000 member mark now. It's growing so fast. It's amazing. But you're right. And it's like you can tap into it so much. So like today we have a restock, and from a marketing perspective, I want to know what everyone's excited about. All I have to do is go on there and find out what scent they're talking about, or do a poll, ask them, what's something you're most excited about tonight? And you get instant customer feedback. And there's a lot of companies out there that need to do, what are they called? Like testing groups and all of that sort of thing. And to get any sort of customer feedback, whereas I can ask the question and within 10 minutes, all of my best loyal, top customers will tell me exactly what they want. And I find that absolutely magical.
And also it's so much easier for you to then give them the best customer experience possible, because you've then got all of this data that you can just think, oh, we need to do this scent, this scent, this scent, because that's what they want, or we need to do this burner. But a lot of companies have got marketing teams and they don't then bridge that gap.
Yeah, they're trying to guess. So we released the restock list the day before restock. So last night I released the restock list, but a couple of hours before, I asked them what small tubs they're hoping makes the restock list. And there was a lot of comments of like 5 different scents that weren't on the restock list. So because I had that information, I then released the restock list. I said to production downstairs, okay, what's the chances of you making these 5 cents for me, please? And we did. So they're on restock tonight. So we're doing like lemon cookies for Santa, pecan pumpkin waffles, I love you, because there was a demand for it. So the customers are happy, and from a business perspective, we get to have a better day as well, because we know those products are going to sell. So when you think about it, it really, really works.
It does. And as well, like, especially with, the modern day, like, gone is the reign of the big corporate companies with the mask up. Like, people connect with people. So the fact that you've really, you've nailed that. And I guess you are the company, aren't you? Like, you are the brand.
Yeah. I just find it bizarre that that's happened. Growing up, I've always found it really hard to connect with people. Never really had a friend group or friends that I really gelled with. I was always more comfortable on my own, actually, after a while. So it's really crazy to think, just off the back of being my authentic self and offering a product, it's not even like I'm selling a service. I do have so much support behind me. I'm so grateful for that. It makes the world a difference. Like on down days where you're thinking, everyone has down days, so maybe you get a bit of self-doubt. All I need to do is tell people, and some people might not even feel comfortable telling their customers, oh, today I'm not having a great day. But I can put a post up about not having a great day, whether it be Luke having a tantrum and giving him chocolate for breakfast or, something like that. And within like 10 minutes, there's 50 people that are telling me everything's going to be all right, and giving that support network that most of the time you don't even get amongst friends or best friends or family. So it is special.
It's something that we've touched on. Like, we find that the people that we meet online, like, we have much stronger genuine connection with, because a lot of the time, like, when you meet people in real life, it's kind of like for a consequence, like, you just happen to meet. Whereas like people that you actually connect with online, like, you're connected for like an actual reason, like a deeper connection.
I agree. I would agree with that, actually. And it's always because you have something, like the similar interests, and if you are so far away and you're making time for each other, it's even more special, because it's not like, oh, you're just meeting up because they're down the road or something. You have to actually make time for people. And yeah, I would agree with you.
It is so good that you can literally just see all of these people, that it's not only supporting you, but it's supporting each other. And that's 12,000 people that would comment on other people's posts if they're putting their own kind of, I don't know, down days on there as well. And it's almost not then just about the wax melts anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk about everything on there. Some people would prefer it just to be about the wax, but that's not how you build a community. I wouldn't ever stop anyone talking about an issue that they're having if it would make their day feel better, whether it's about the wax or not. Within reason, obviously, you need to make sure that you don't put things out there that can really upset people. But then there's topics that also need to be discussed and need to be spoken about. So it's about getting the right balance.
That's awesome. So what's your favourite part about the business then?
I am obsessed with any growth. So for me, I'm just obsessed with watching the group number go up, the Instagram followers go up, the engagement go up, how it all ties together. I probably spend more time on analytics than I care to admit, and just seeing how everything works together. Building the business is just something that I'm really passionate about, which is probably why it's one of the fastest growing wax melt company, or if the fastest growing wax melt company in the UK, because I put so much of my efforts into seeing that growth. But apart from that, I always knew I wanted my own business, and I always felt like I could never work for anyone else. That sounds awful. But I was never happy working for anyone else or having people tell me what to do and not having my creative ability and being able to use it, being put in a box. That was never for me. So I'm very lucky now that Sassy is at the point where we're out of the startup phase. We're in expansion. I have an amazing team. I'm able to have my second baby, which is due in December. And my dream was to always be able to be a mum and be financially stable and enjoy life. And luckily enough, I'm able to do that off the back of having a business. So for anyone that feels stuck in their career or in their life, and they maybe feel anxious and unhappy, I was that person. I really urge you to look at what you're spending every day doing and finding out actually what would make you happy. And I know sometimes you can't just go, okay, well, I'm going to quit my job or I'm going to do this, but you can make little changes that could get you where you need to be. And sometimes it looks far off and far away, but it is possible because I've done it.
Yeah, very well said. Like, I think starting a business is one of like the hardest things that you can do. And especially when you come at it from a point of you're already in a job, you've got a mortgage, or, you've got bills to pay. So like the best advice that I can give there is look at what you want to do, but then find the cheapest possible way to test it. So for example, if you wanted to, you wanted to start selling clothes, just make like literally a web page or a landing page where someone can just go and buy. You don't even have to have stock, but there's different ways that you can test. So that's what me and my partner have done. So we still work full time, but before we made sure, we're getting to the point now where we're potentially going to start looking at leaving the jobs. But,
exciting.
Yeah, but we obviously got to make sure it works before, you throw in the towel, because there's a lot of risk, but it's so worth it. Like you say, so worth it.
It's interesting you say that, actually, because I get a lot of messages from people that have wax melt businesses, as you can imagine. And someone asked me a couple of months back, they messaged me and they said, it's amazing what you've done. It's so inspiring. I'm a nurse and I really enjoy it. And that's what I want to do. But can you tell me how I get a wax business like yours, please? And I was like, this is the problem. This is why not many businesses do make it, because not everyone is willing to give up their job that they worked or they studied for like 7 years to go and start their own business, because A, they feel like they've wasted their time doing their degree or whatever they were doing, and B, they might quite enjoy it. But I went back to this lady and I said, unfortunately, my advice would be choose. At some point, you've got to choose. And I was lucky enough to have maternity leave, but not everyone would choose to use their maternity leave to really make a go of their business. But something's got to give. To build something like Sassy Wax, you need to give 100%. I know there's some people out there that run like 5 or 10 or more businesses at the same time. I don't know how that's even possible, but maybe one day. But to build something like this, you need to give 100%. And you are so right about testing it. I wouldn't have wouldn't have given up my job if I knew I wasn't making enough money to cover my bills, which is the hard part. Testing is the hard part. But once you get that, taking that leap of faith, if you're not prepared to do it, that's the thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And one of the things, especially like I've seen an increase in it, obviously with COVID, but there's so many groups like in startup incubators out there where you can just go test your idea, present your idea to somebody, and they'll actually help you like go through that, ideation phase and get it to an MVP. So it's so worth doing, but it's definitely hard because, like I say, if you've already got a job and full time, you basically lose your life. Like I've literally spent a year going to work full time, but then after work it's just again work, but it's kind of good work. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
you enjoy it though, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like when you're doing your own thing, it doesn't feel like work. Yeah. But like forget like weekends gallivanting around. And whatnot. But yeah, so worth it.
But find your passion, and then it doesn't seem like work. That's the main thing that I did, and that's why I'm here today. Because I don't know about you, but I've always struggled getting into something that I don't enjoy. So in school, I always knew I could do the work, but unless I enjoyed the subject, I'd pass. But if I enjoyed the subject, I get an A-star without even putting in any real effort. And that's the same with anything in life. Once you enjoy something and you take away the stress of, I don't want to do this, or any negative thoughts around it, and you just do it for what it is, something amazing is bound to pay off.
Could not agree more. So did you work before you started the business?
Yeah.
In?
Yeah, so I went to college, then had really bad results my first year, and I was really disappointed because in school I never really had to try very hard. And I always managed to get myself somewhere, and then it was a big shock doing A-levels. It was like, oh right, I actually have to work now. So my second year I really put everything into my A-levels and ended up getting really, really good grades, but also burning myself out. That university was not an option for me. I was like, there's no way I'm doing this for another 3, 5, 7 years. So I knew I wanted to get out there. I wanted to earn money. I knew I could get places faster by doing that. So I got a job just doing pensions admin through my auntie, just something to get my foot in the door. And then very quickly, and there's no offense to anyone that wants to do admin for the rest of their life or whatever, that's brilliant if you do, but I found myself looking around and thinking, she's been here like 40 years, is that really gonna be me? And I'm just like, she was very happy, she was great at what she did, and she obviously didn't think like that, but for me, I found myself going into work and I was like, oh wow, I don't know. And it was so depressing. I didn't realise, like, actually looking back on it, I was 19 and just dreaded it. Going in, it wasn't even a hard job, but it was just, I knew I wasn't meant to be there. So I actually ended up trying to go to a different pensions company, still feeling the same, still looking around at people and thinking, no, this is not where I'm meant to be. So I thought that, being young and naive, if I could find a job that I could earn like a lot of money doing, then I'd be happier. And that wasn't the case. So I ended up in recruitment, which is, I don't know if you know much about recruitment, but it can be quite a tough environment. If you're not making sales, if you're not doing deals, then you're expected to be there working late hours. And if you're not, then you're likely to get fired. And if you're not meeting your targets, you're likely to get fired. So I was never really consistent. So I actually ended up getting fired for my first job in recruitment. So I'd have really, really good months and everyone would be like, yeah, Keely's absolutely smashing it. And the next month I'd be and, I'd be feeling really bad about myself and it would show in my work. So I went to a different company and they were absolutely lovely. And I did actually really enjoy working for that company in recruitment. I was making money, but I was also doing Sassy on the side. So that helped. And I tried for my little boy Luca since I had that job. So everything, looking back on it, dropped in at just the right time. Like, getting fired wasn't a great experience, but luckily I was able to find a really nice company that I didn't have that much pressure on me, that I could do Sassy on the side, and focus on wanting to have Luca as well. So yeah, and then maternity leave came around, and I realised I could take maternity leave if I wanted to, and I was making a little bit of money from Sassy, so that's when I really made a go of it.
I think we've all related to not enjoying our jobs as much as we kind of should. I was in retail until March, so I was like all through university, like that's 4 years worth, and getting to the point where you figure out that you don't want to work for someone else it's really difficult, because you know that you're not going to be happy unless you're out of that environment, like regardless of how nice, like, you know, the office was. But yeah, even working in admin, like, was not a good environment either, because like if you are so creative, putting yourself into that like computer based normally job is really difficult to sustain as well.
Yeah, but how amazing is that you were honest with yourself, you were able to be honest with yourself and say, look, actually this is why I'm unhappy, because a lot of people would just go through their life knowing that they probably don't like what they're doing, but they've been told by their parents to go and work hard and get a 9 to 5 and pay your bills, don't have a credit card. That's what I was always told anyway. Don't owe anyone any money, and just, I don't know, just go home every day and repeat every other day. So the fact that you've figured out that it's not for you and you've started doing things that you enjoy, I think that's inspirational for anyone that's in that position at the moment, thinking, actually, yeah, deep down, I don't like what I'm doing.
So one of the things I want to touch on was going back to the Facebook ads and how you've kind of put those into your business model. Like, did you sort of reinvest the money and the profits from certain quarters, then kind of put it into like an advertising budget? Or
interesting. So I don't actually have like a set program for Facebook ads. I'm still myself learning about them. So at the moment I'm actually just playing around with them. I'm testing still. I started doing them like 6 months ago. For me it was like, well, I know I make this amount of profit each month. We get a company to do our Google ads and stuff, so I should probably spend just as much money as what I'm doing on Google ads on Facebook ads and learn how they work. I decided to do it myself because there is a lot of information out there, and it is one of the most expensive things to pay for. I know you get return on investment, but some companies are going to charge you like 30% of your ad spend to run your ads, and it doesn't take them a full-time job to do it. So that's a key decider for me in anything that I do, that if before I let someone else do it, I should understand how it works. So yeah, I'm just playing around with it at the moment. I understand different aspects of reaching new customers, retargeting customers, which we don't do so much of at Sassy because we have a loyal customer base. I mean, our return customer rate's like 60-70%. Yeah, I know.
That's like incredible.
Unheard of. So for us, it's obviously about reaching those new customers, because we know that 6-7 times out of 10 they come back and they order again. So it doesn't matter how much we spend on reaching them, really, if they're going to come back and be a loyal customer. So yeah, it's just about figuring out, okay, how much profit am I making in the month? What are my goals in terms of who I need to reach and how much money I need to make, and figuring out if you can put an offer in place, because that always drives more traffic, or whether you need to, and always invest a little bit. I mean, Instagram based businesses, Instagram boosted posts are really, really good, because you have like an automatic audience, and it's like a lookalike audience of 1% of your Instagram followers or something. And I just tend, if I see that a post is performing well, I tend to just put like even just £5 behind it and promote it to more of those people that are likely to want to engage with it. And you do see really good results just from that simple function. So you don't really need to know anything about ads whatsoever to do that.
So it's just more about increasing your customer base rather than increase your return rate, because it's already kind of like set for you. I think that's really interesting, like that your return rate is so high, and obviously like amazing for you guys. But do you think that has something to do with like more your level of like community involvement, or as well as obviously the quality of the product as well? But you can have a quality product, but if you're not engaging with your audience, then I feel like some businesses kind of like fall flat at that kind of aspect.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with you. So first you have to have a good product. Our refund rates also reflect our return customer rate. So we don't really do any refunds, which is great. Even though we offer it to anyone that's unhappy with our product, we don't have many refunds at all. And then it also reflects, yes, your loyal customer base, whether there is that commitment there from your customer base. And also, I would say the other thing is our products, they're £2.90 a bar. And if you do like wax that much, you can get through, say you had, I don't know, 5 rooms in your house, 5 burners, and you've put the whole bar on, and that's lasted you a couple of days, it does mean that you can start making a couple of orders a month. Whereas if you're selling, I don't know, a luxury product or
something that you would use for like a couple of months or
yeah, exactly. Something that you use to go to the gym or something, you might not have the need to repurchase within a short amount of time. So there's a number of things that come into play with it, but yeah, you're on the ball there with the community and the good product.
But it's also like, especially with your Facebook group, it is almost like constant advertisement to your already like loyal customer base. Like I have to say, I've had to kind of turn off the notifications sometimes, because I'm like, I'm just going to keep buying it because you see like all the flavors, or you're like, oh, I need to get this one. But because it's in, you know, it's a lot of content, and it's literally like a constant advertisement for like the best quality, you know, products. So
yeah, and that's not actually being advertised by us as well. Our customers actually do a lot of the advertising for us. So on Facebook groups, I'm not sure if you know, but you can get like top contributors to the group. So they're the people that post the most and comment the most. So therefore they're like the influencers of the group. Yeah, everyone sees their posts a lot, everyone interacts with them. So you'd be surprised. There'll be a scent that we put onto Restock that I think, oh yeah, it's nice, but it's not amazing, it's not going to be a bestseller. And suddenly someone posted on the group how amazing it is, and within 5 minutes it's sold out. So it's like, thanks guys. Like, you know, yeah.
I think
notice, please.
There was a specific scent that I remember. I think it was Hey Honey and Amber, and I was like, oh, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna get it, like, but then someone posted, and then I was like, right, well, I'm just gonna get it now. And then I go on the website, it's like sold out, and I'm like, wow, like
that was one of the underdogs. I was thinking no one's gonna buy that, because really from the name you might be a little bit interested, but you might think, do I want my house to smell like hay? I'm not sure. But as soon as someone put it out there that it was like amazing, it was the best thing we've ever smelled, it became one of our best sellers for months.
How do you go about naming your products then? Like, have you got science behind it or any kind of methodology?
So there are fragrance oil suppliers out there. So that's why if you're into wax melts, you buy from a lot of companies, you'll find the same scents amongst them. Because there's clearly some like really popular scents on the market, so everyone tends to do those. So we tend to keep those names the same, because if you've got say you had a wax melt in Snow Pixie that we do and you didn't really like it from the other supplier, but you wanted to try ours, then that's available to you. And something that I get really excited about is creating our own scents. So now we're at the level to be able to contact fragrance houses and manufacturers ourselves. I can literally be at home one day and be like, oh, I really want some like rosemary put within our scent, or I think that would be really nice to add a bit of cherry or something like that. And I can contact my fragrance house and just be like, guys, can you send me a sample of this, this and this? We can test it in-house and then bring out our own unique fragrances. That is an absolute dream to me. It's something that I've dreamed of since I've started the business. And so important when you need to stay unique and we are one of the market leaders, and I hope that we stay that way. So I know that bringing out our unique scents really contributes to that. So we have like Midnight Jasmine, which sells really well. I Love You is one of our absolute best sellers, which you can't find anywhere else. I think we have like over 50 of them now, but I get so excited about them.
It helps you stay ahead of the curve, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. I was going to ask about the monthly like boxes and subscriptions, like how are they popular? Because I feel like some subscription services are, I don't know, they're used for a bit and then people just kind of like cancel it. But obviously you bring out like a monthly box rather than it being a fully like automated subscription service.
Yeah, so the reason why I started doing a monthly box is because at the time where it was just me, I would actually be flooded with complaints on Restock that they weren't in order because there wasn't enough stock. So I sat down at the time and I thought, okay, I need to be able to offer something that's made to order, which means that everyone can have at least a few bars delivered to them every month and they know that they haven't missed out completely. So I started the monthly box. So it's four wax bars in new scents. So it wouldn't be scents that we already have on the website because our loyal customers probably already have them. So they want it because it's something new. They're going to be the first to try it. And decided not to set it up as a subscription. So people can pick and choose whether they can afford it. There's 3 different options. So if you just want the bars 1 month, it's only going to cost you £11 odd. But then if you want, you have a bit more spare money, you can pay for the gold or the platinum. So I wanted to make it accessible for absolutely everyone, whether you have, commitments that month or not. If you want to buy it, then you should be able to, without having a looming, subscription over you and having to cancel it and then it's still coming out your bank. I always hated that. So it's interesting though, because we are actually going to launch the subscription service because it has been requested so much by our customers. Just that they're like, Keely, I order every month. I know I want a gold box every month. I don't want to forget to order it 1 month, so it can have a subscription. So we are going to bring that out when we launch our new website in the next couple of weeks. But we are still going to have the option of just buying the one-off for the month, so it keeps everyone happy. But yeah, it's popular. I mean, as having new scents and being the first to get them along amongst our loyal customers is always going to be a winner.
Do you know, it's so impressive hearing like the whole story. Like I love it. I think it's great.
I know, like the girls have had to like listen to me talk about like wax melts for like the past like I don't know how many months. So you got to try this one. You got to try this one. But I think it's just something that's so universal as well. Like you don't think there's always, you've kind of got your like demographic, but then you've got like such a broad demographic now that so many people are interested in like home fragrance and home decor and like all of that kind of circle that you've ended up with an amazing like customer base.
Yeah.
So making a product that is so universal, and especially scents that are universal as well. So you've got like, I don't know, like trying to think of like one of my favourites, but like Creed, for instance, like that could go into anyone's home. And and maybe something more like on the lavender side, like you might think is a bit more of the, you know, older people, but you know,
yeah, it does help.
Yeah.
We have a library of over 400 scents, so you do find some brands on the market, maybe like a luxury candle brand, or I don't know, but they only do like specific scents. So for example, like Jo Malone have lovely fragrances, but they're not going to be bringing out a bubblegum candle, you know. But with us, we are bringing out the autumn winter scents now, but we're still keeping like the sweet scents on board. We're still keeping laundry scents on board. I'm a big lover of evening scents. Anything with lavender in is the winner for me. So every restock, we make sure there's something for everyone.
That's amazing. So it's obvious that you're absolutely killing like B2C.
Yes.
Have you thought about exploring B2B and what that could look like for you?
Yes. Can't tell you too much at the moment, but 2 months ago I brought on my sales manager, Vanessa. She's got a background in fashion, and has worked with a lot of key retailers. So we are doing a lot of work at the moment on B2B, and hopefully going to be launching our products into store at some point this year, next year, which is amazing, really excited about. I did this year, I wanted to open our own shop in the centre of Bristol. It's still going to happen at some point, because I always think, you know how you walk, like you get to like the start of the shopping centre and you're like, I can smell it already, I can smell the bath bombs. Like, how amazing is it going to be for us to be like, someone will be like, oh, have you seen that other shop that smells really nice open up? And like the whole hype around that, it's just going to be incredible when it happens. But COVID, thanks COVID. Thank God we didn't open the shop, because it would have been closed and it would have just been burning money. So everything happens for a reason. On the group, you'll hear me talk about everything happens for a reason every other day, which means that I was able to bring on Vanessa, and we've achieved some amazing things since she's been on board. So yeah, it's
I mean, you've got some Christmas based gifts coming out. I know you've got what was it, the one with the socks and the eye mask and all that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so we've just launched the Christmas Eve box, which has like a face mask, an eye mask, a bauble, some fluffy socks. I'm obsessed. And also 4 limited edition segment pots as well. So in a reusable storage box, because if you have a look on the group, storage is a big thing at the moment. People have got like whole cupboards full of wax and they're hanging it up on their walls and everyone's going crazy. So providing something that was in like a storage box was really important for us. So that's really exciting. And the whole idea around that is having like a ritual on Christmas Eve. So it is kind of implementing how I like to burn my wax before I'm eating, before I get in the bath. On Christmas Eve, putting on your wax melt, putting on your socks, doing your face mask, hot chocolate in hand. And I can't wait to see everyone's pictures on Christmas Eve, all doing the same thing with their Christmas Eve box.
I'm going in for the Christmas Eve box, because both me and my other half, we always do a Christmas Eve box for ourselves, but genuinely, we will both indulge in face masks.
Always fluffy socks, always new pajamas, get a face mask on, Christmas film. But yeah, we're putting like together a ritual leaflet for that as well. So everyone's going to have like what to do with the Christmas Eve box. So it's such a lovely idea. Yeah, Vanessa had a lot of involvement in that as well. So thank you, Vanessa. On the other hand, if you love Christmas scents, but you perhaps don't want a sassy bauble, I mean, who wouldn't want a sassy bauble? But if it's not for you, then we have done the 12 Days of Christmas box as well. Which is also a reusable box. You get 11 bars and you get a room spray. Everyone's itching for the room sprays to come back at the moment, and that's also on pre-order, and the second release is coming next week, so you've heard that here first.
I have 2 very quick questions before.
Yeah,
Okay, so first of all, what's your favourite scent?
So it's always been the scent that I started the business off the back of, which is our evening fall scent. So it's the lavender, it's the tonka. But we've brought out our own one recently, which is our take on it. So it's called Sassy Slumber. And I have to say, it is amazing. If you love that kind of scent, you need to try it for sure.
Amazing. And the last question, and this is for me and probably anyone else that's like just on the start of their wax burning journey.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way to get wax out of your burner?
Oh, so I'm glad you asked that, because we actually have a video. We actually have a video we've put out on our Facebook page really recently. But if you light the tea light underneath and you let it melt, you can actually get like cotton wool balls. I prefer to use pads because I always have them to take off my makeup anyway, and just soak up the wax, and then you can use a new one to wipe it round. You can get rid of it. Looks brand new, basically, and then you just chuck it in the bin. So
FYI, guys, knife with a knife. Don't use a knife.
No, don't use a knife. Oh God. But we actually do have a blog post as well. If you want to read that, it's on our website. So there's like a few different options depending on, I don't know, maybe you don't have cotton pads in your house, but yeah, there's a few different options for you to read.
Hey, I'm going to put my hands up and say that I do use a knife, but
it's pros. Our mistakes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The discount then, we have a starter pack on our website, which is 6 of our best-selling scents, which I touched on at the start of the conversation. They've been our absolute best sellers since it was just me making like 6 bars in my kitchen. Everyone loves them. They're our strongest scents as well. It's already discounted on the website at 10%, but if you use the code SSW podcast, then you can get an extra 20% off.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So grateful for you to give us a nice little discount code for people to try out the scents, because to be honest, I can't stop raving about them, so there's no reason why.
Thank you.
You've got a new customer from me as well.
Yeah.
Great to talk to you. Great to meet you.
All right, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.